Good afternoon, everybody. It's the second day of firearms deer season here in Michigan. Thought I'd do a video and talk about why is hunting still necessary. I don't hunt anymore. I used to. I don't have anything against it. And I'm not doing this to sway anybody's opinion about hunting, but there are several valid reasons that hunting is still a thing here in the state. There's approximately 2 million deer in Michigan, and as of the last statistic available, there's 250,000 less deer hunters than there were 25 years ago. The only numbers I could find were for 2019, so all these numbers that I've got are from 2019, but in 2019 there were 55,513 car deer collisions and 12 deaths from those collisions, and 29% of all car crashes in the month of November were car deer accidents. And the most severe of those accidents are people swerving to avoid the deer and hitting a tree, going in a ditch, rolling over, and whatnot. And that's very common. You're way better off just to hit the deer, because you're going to kill yourself if you try to avoid it a lot of times. So, but there's a whole bunch of other things here. Think about the population of the deer. You got 250,000 less hunters. So those, say 1/5 of those people got a deer. That would be 50,000 less deer, but now there's not. So imagine those deer breeding. Granted, they don't breed like cats, but if there were 2 million cats roaming the woods, imagine how fast that population would explode. But deer tend to have 1 or 2, sometimes 3 from what I understand, but generally it's 1 or 2. But just imagine, you know, that many more deer breeding. And car deer collisions were only 50,400 something in 2017 versus 55,000 in 2019. That number is just going to climb. And I imagine it would affect our insurance rates eventually. And let me see what else I got here. I'll be right back. Alright, I got some more numbers. 1 of 6 Michigan traffic accidents in 2019 was caused by a collision with a deer. 1 in 6. A third of those deer crashes occurred in October and November. That's an insane number. And you also have to factor in, we have a little thing here, unfortunately, called chronic wasting disease. And it is exactly what it sounds like. The deer just suffer. And they just basically starve to death. We've seen one. They skin and bones. They just die. And that disease is spread by contact, basically nose-to-nose contact. Say if you got a bait pile out, and that's one reason. I believe baiting's not allowed this year to try to stop the spread of chronic wasting disease. But nose-to-nose contact spreads it, so the more deer, the more it gets spread. Overpopulation in the metro areas is a big deal. If you Google Kensington Metro Park, it's in the southern part of the state. They've actually had, for the last several years, a culling program that they actually have sharpshooters come in and take out some of the deer population. And I know that sounds horrible, but the Michigan DNR biologists believe that a healthy population of deer is 15 to 20 deer per square mile. Any more than that, they can, like, you know, damage all the flora and fauna big time, you know, decimate the flowers and trees and shrubs and all that stuff. Plus, they can starve to death. So there's several good reasons that hunting is still a thing here. But the chronic wasting disease is pretty scary. I'll give you a good example of not hunting so much anymore. There's approximately 80 acres out there that my next door neighbor Art's buddy Dave used to lease every year, and then there was 20 acres over here that butted up against it with the swamp. Excuse me, that my friend Bud, who unfortunately passed away a few years ago, owned. And at that time, there was me, Bud, and my friend Bob. We hunted that 20 acres. And then the 80 acres was hunted by Art, his brother Bill, his other brother Mike, and then Dave and his son. And then occasionally Dave would have a couple people, so there was 6, 8 of us there for sure on that 100 acres, and then 2 or 3 more possibly. So 8 to 11 people hunting every year. Well, this is just one group of people that's aged out of hunting. We're part of that 250,000 that's no longer hunting anymore. So the deer population around here has increased big time. In fact, when I was a kid, let's say 45 years ago, when I was about 12 years old, you probably would have heard a dozen gunshots by now. And the time I've been out here, it was just almost a constant barrage of gunfire. Whether it was distant, close, whatever, you could hear it. And it's just not like that anymore. In fact, all of yesterday, excuse me, and what I've been out today, I only heard one gunshot yesterday. So it's definitely a waning thing. But I just wanted to share with you guys. Like I said, I'm not trying to sway anybody's opinion and make them, you know, if you don't like hunting, you don't like hunting. But there's still very valid reasons that it's allowed to continue. And one of my pet peeves about it is the state of Michigan always has it on November 15th. Well, they're bitching about the tourism and the lack of tourism and money being spent around the state and such. Opening day, Monday the 15th, was a Monday. How many people were not able to participate in opening day because it was on a frickin' Monday? It's like, come on, make it the second Saturday in November, whatever that may be. If you want to boost the tourism and the spending in the state, that would be a fine way to do it. And I always used to have to work around it too. If opening day's on a Wednesday, you're pretty screwed unless you can get the whole week off. So I just thought I'd come out and share that with you. Let me see if I got any more info to share with you. Well, I just missed that gunshot. There was one distant gunshot. And one more number. I actually misread it. It says Michigan had a total of 50,031 accidents involving deer in 2019, which is up 4% from 53,464 in 2018 and 50,949 in 2017. That's a lot of frickin' car deer accidents. No doubt about that. So just thought I'd share that all with you guys. Like I said, you know, it is what it is, but it is a necessary thing, because even with hunting still occurring and the 250,000 less people hunting now, the deer population is still going to continue to grow. I sure don't want to hit a deer. Well, actually with the Buick, I don't like that Buick very much. That would be okay, but I don't want to hit it with my car. So I hope you enjoyed this information. And the sunshine. It's not bad out here. We have not had very many good days at all lately. It's been windy every night, so I haven't been able to do any audio recording, or snowing, or raining. And what do you guys think? Y'all think it's time for me to shave yet? I think it is. We'll see. Just lazy. Just freaking lazy. It's not like I gotta impress anybody. And why do today what you can put off till tomorrow, right? That's how lazy I've become since I started living up here. Warning, if you don't want to see 2 beautiful deer that were taken this morning, you might want to stop watching after this. But these 2 beautiful bucks were taken out by where my brother-in-law is hunting. They were taken this morning. He hasn't gotten one yet. A lot of people that are non-hunters will say, hope you catch one. So I texted him back after he sent me that picture. I said, quit dicking around taking pictures and go catch one, as the non-hunters would say. So, like I said, if you don't want to see a dead deer, you might want to stop watching. But otherwise, this is a couple beautiful bucks. Well, thanks y'all for watching. I hope you learned something. We'll see you on the next one.